Hey, welcome to Tablenauts. I'm Doolin. Say something.
I'm Josh.
Thank you. Today, we have a video showcasing a lot of our people around Tablenauts. I hope so. I hope they send me the video. If they don't, you're in for just absolute chaos the next 10 to 15 minutes. But today we have a holiday gift guide for y'all where we're gonna just go through some games for different types of people, different types of gamers that we want to recommend games for. And first things first though, if you are watching this and you are not an avid board gamer, and maybe you're watching this for somebody else, first of all, welcome. Welcome, you're in the right place, or maybe the wrong place, I don't know yet. From a guy who has a whole lot of board games, that any board game that you find interesting, you should get for them. Specifically with the caveat that you say, hey, I got this for you for Christmas and I'd love it if we played this together. As a big board game fan, I don't care what you pull out. It could have been Monopoly, it could be the board game Sorry, it could be Candyland 2023 edition. I don't know what that would look like, and I would be excited to play it because you're excited to play it. So get a game for a person who is a gamer that you're interested in playing with them. With that, I hope you guys enjoy our more specific board game recommendations in our Holiday Gift Guide 2023.
You having too much fun with your friends? Is your friend group too nice and peaceful? Bam! Zuus. This game is cute, but oh so mean. It's like the root of negotiation games. Who knew traversing a zoo would be so contentious? You might like Zuus if you like a game that plays well at a variety of player counts. You like yelling. You like games that don't overstay their welcome. You like to cry. You like negotiating. You have a kinky side. Zuus is a delightful time that feels like a game night staple. Tons of fun, gaslighting, and laughter, and a game that you'll surely want to revisit time and time again.
If you've got kids you're shopping for this season, then I've got a few recommendations for you. I think these games are all really good for kids in their age range of 5 to 8, give or take. But you know, every kid's different, so you decide what's best. The first game I have is Go Nuts for Donuts. It's kind of like Hate Drafting the Game, which is great to show kids. It has a really nice theme, really cute art. Kids are really drawn to it, I find, just because donuts, I guess. The mechanics are pretty simple to pick up, and it's a game like basically you're just going to put out a line of cards, pick one, and if anyone else picks that same card as you, then nobody gets it. So that's a nice little bit of tactic and strategy that you may not find in most kids' games. So Go Nuts for Donuts, really good. You can have this over a nice breakfast with some donuts with your kids.
Hey guys, this is Jash, and I have a very special category for you. This is for the board gamer who hardly knows her. First, we got Insider, a great little inverse on the whole hidden trader thing, you know, like a sort of like Chameleon, where you're playing a collaborative 20 questions game where one person knows what the word is, and they're trying to get you to that word without letting you know that they're the one who knows the word. It's kind of simple, but it's a lot of fun, a lot of shenanigans that go down. Next, Sea Salt and Paper. It's a fun little take that set collecty game, really cool origami art style, and it's just a whole lot of fun. One of my favorite games from this year, but like, why stop there? There's so many games. Everything Ever, Monikers.
All right, this next recommendation is gonna be for the puzzle lovers in your life. And I have two that I have fallen in love with this year, both of which are from this year. First of which is a game that only has the same style of card, so it's not like a polyomino or anything like that, but it's definitely a puzzle. It's a very thinky game that can be played from 1 player all the way up to 8 players, and you can choose to use expansions, make it harder on yourself, whatever you want to do. And I'm talking about Trailblazers, which is a game that has an incredibly cool theme where you are trailblazers. You're trying to make paths of kayaks and bikes and hiking for this park that you're developing. And over the course of the game, you're going to be trying to create loops of things that will score you the most points, but every trail has to come all the way back because whenever you go out on a trail, you don't want to get lost. You got to find your way back home as well. It's a really cool game of drafting and a little bit of press your luck in there as well, but mainly a very good puzzle for you to play out by yourself or with friends. My second recommendation is a game that does have polyominoes, where there's multiple different styles of tiles, and on top of that, the tiles give you certain actions that you get to perform because you're building out this Wild West city. And I'm of course talking about Wild Tiled West, a game that is from the creator of Dune Imperium, and it does not play like Dune Imperium at all. It took the basic idea of a polyomino, but instead adds some extra twists. As you draft a tile, the tile actually is typically a building as well, and that building gives you certain things on it, whether that's extra sheriffs or extra bandits that need to be dealt with, or maybe it's a specific type of building like a saloon. These two are both incredible puzzle style games that, for people like me who love to figure out the best way to build out this area, are gonna love it.
So Clover, Dog Lover.
Monza is a racing game by Haba Games, where it's basically just a racing game where you're trying to complete one full loop around the track. You basically do that by rolling dice and moving along the different colors on the path based on what you roll. It's a really cute game, really quick and simple, but it has a good amount of tactical bite that you have to consider each round as you roll the dice. And it has really fun moments where oh, oops, Dad didn't move for the 5th turn in a row. That's funny. But Monza is a really cute game. And I think it's good for helping kids recognize patterns and kind of sequencing. And I find it genuinely still fun. It's not a game I'd break out with the Tablenauts crew or anything, but if you've got a group of kids going up to a group as big as 6, I think Monza is a great choice.
That Old Wallpaper. Campy Creatures, I Hardly Knowers.
Have you found love on the silver screen? A newfound passion for cinema? Bring those movies to game night with Rotten Tomatoes and Blockbuster. One of these companies doesn't exist anymore, and the world might be a better place if neither of them did. Rotten Tomatoes has you organizing movies based off their critic or audience score. You start with 3, and the first to 10 wins the game. There's some wild cards and wrinkles thrown in, but for the most part, it's just a way to bring the movies to game night, get you playing a game while discussing movies. This is also a game that you will have to adjust the rules a bit, but can play with anyone, family members, kids. I brought my 4- and 5-year-old children into this, and they had a delightful time. Of course, we adjusted the rules, and they probably didn't know 97% of the movies we discussed, but they had fun nevertheless. Now, Blockbuster, I gotta tell you a secret about Blockbuster. I don't know how to play the game. When I purchased this game at Barnes & Noble, I dropped it on the ground, therefore spilling the contents of said box. I'm not gonna do it again. And apparently lost the rules. I don't know where they are. They're on the floor of a Barnes & Noble. So when I brought it home, I looked at it and I was like, this looks vaguely similar to Monikers. So we just played Monikers with movie cards. I don't know if the game itself is any good, but if you're looking for movie prompts to add to your Monikers game, this is the way to go. Now I can't close the lid. Blockbusters have never had a hard time closing.
In Leaders. Dice Miner. Buried Treasure. Kind of. Caesar. Dead of Winter. Guild of Merchant Explorers.